Origi! Yeah! Unbelievable!
Hello and welcome to the Liverpool podcast following a highly enjoyable 3-0 win at Marseille in the Champions League. A clever free kick from Szoboszlai, a Frimpong-made own goal and a stoppage time third from Cody capped a dominant performance that should have yielded a hatful more. The win at the Velodrome took Liverpool into the top four, and with a home game against Qarabag to close out the initial league phase, we're in pole position for an automatic place in the last 16. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm joined by TLW editor Dave Usher and Julian Ritters to discuss an impressive night's work for Arne Slot's men. Dave, really enjoyed that. I thought it was probably our best attacking display of the season, and the margin of victory probably should have been greater. What was your take?
I don't know about best of the season. It's up there. Like, it's not like this is a great deal of choice, but I think probably Frankfurt was better. But yeah, I think 3-0 was probably the least we deserved. It was more of a 4, even 5 game, really, because we had some really good chances we didn't take. But it's like watching a different sport when you watch the Champions League games compared to what we're seeing week in, week out in the league. The amount of space, it was a football match there tonight. It wasn't like all about set pieces and teams being like just dead compact and defending the box and all that. It wasn't like that. I was looking at like how Marseille was setting up, and it was like they just wanted to make the pitch as big as it possibly could be. You know, so they had like 2 players pushed right up wide. The defence was dropping deep to get on the ball, and they were trying to play through lines, and there was just space everywhere. And it was like, we're going to play our game, you play your game, and let's see who comes out on top. And it's like so refreshing to be able to watch a game like that. And we're actually pretty good at that game. We're just not very good at the one that we're having to watch every week in the league. But that was, it was enjoyable. Thought we played some lovely football, defended well. I don't think like we were ever really in too much danger. They had a few moments here and there, but I think we defended it pretty well for the most part. Used the ball well. Just a bit wasteful with the final ball too often, especially in the first half when there was so many situations where we could have got in, and it's, you know, not quite the right pass, just didn't get in. Second half we did that a bit better. We had more chances, and we took enough for it to be, you know, fairly comfortable. I think once the second goal went in, I know we've been dodgy at 2-0 this season, but the way that game went tonight, once it got to 2, it was like, there's no way these are scoring 2. So that kind of made it safe, and then you get the third late on just to put the bow on top of it. So yeah, all in all, good night, clean sheet, nice goals, some good performances. Main takeaways probably continued like development of the new players, and specifically the fact that we're seeing the fullbacks bombing on now, which it's been like we've had to wait too long for this, but it's here now. Last few weeks we've seen that quite a bit. Both of the fullbacks are looking good. Wirtz is settling in, making an impact, goals, assists. Hugo didn't happen for him tonight, but he looked sharp. He carried a threat. Just a really good night at the office.
Yeah. Jules, did you go along with that? Like, it was sort of telling to see the I thought the 2 up top tonight with Salah mostly playing inside. Not the best night for Mo, but it was A, interesting that he started, and B, interesting that he started where he did, with Wirtz behind those 2 lads who were kind of like splitting off to the sides. And again, yeah, the fullbacks bombing forward. It was much more of the shape that we've been demanding to see from the team for a while now. And overall, I thought it was pretty effective, albeit, as Dave said, against some opposition that were willing to allow us to flourish in that manner.
Yeah, I was surprised that Aubameyang still played. He was on the bench. I thought, fucking hell, do you remember him? Oh, he's still playing. It's always been like this in the Champions League, though, hasn't it? Like, for the last 10 years, we've said that, like, you go into the Champions League and these teams are coming from their own leagues and they're like the big fish in that pond. And they, for the most part, they come into the Champions League still with the belief that they're the big fish, and they play in that manner, which leaves a much more open, expansive game where you're able to play a bit more football, get a bit more time on the ball. And that's why the PSV result was such a weird one. Like, we didn't just get, like, we got battered at home by a team that we shouldn't be getting battered by, because that's just not how the Champions League works, especially for English teams. Like, they're all having a pretty decent season. Like
Well,
on
you say
Spurs,
that, but look at last night, City.
yeah, yeah. City. Well, I mean, it's such a weird season, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
so, Man City is like, us and Man City are like the epitome of what a weird season it is, where like no one can put anything together.
Mm.
Um, but no, I echo what Dave says. Like that was a very good performance. Good positives, lots of positives to take out of it. Again, uh, you know, despite what Slot said in his post-match interview about like, the interviewer said something along the lines of, is this a platform to go on and start winning games in the Premier League? And he said, if we're not inconsistent, if you want to call inconsistent, 13 games unbeaten. And I sort of like, well, I do, yeah, because we haven't won for 4 or 5 games in the Premier League. So yeah, you need to start really being able to turn those into wins. And then he started going on chuntering about the low block again, and that's when I muted the telly because I tuned out at that point because it's literally being paid to solve that problem, aren't us to solve it. But in the this is why, like I said on the last pod, like you can't rule out this like going forward, even winning the Champions League. Arsenal are the best team. They are the number one team in the league of the Champions League, and they didn't really show that much against us in both games we played against them. So if that's the best, I don't know what the odds are on us winning it, but if we're gotta be the top 6 to win it, right? Top 5 must be.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
I'm gonna have a look at that. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna take action on this.
Keep talking,
But-
I'll look.
Yeah, okay. You take action on this. So, yeah, I just, it feels a bit lighter when we play in the Champions League. Like we've had good wins away at Inter Milan, Marseille. Now Marseille on a great team in the grand scheme of things, but like the Stade Velodrome is usually a tough place to go. With like the fans are quite loud, the team can be quite frisky if they're in the right frame of mind for it. So we are getting these good away wins. We are like 4th in the Champions League, so I couldn't rule out us getting to the final.
We beat both
And if you're in
Madrid
the
teams.
Eh?
We beat both Madrid teams as well.
Yeah, of course, before Christmas, yeah, of course. This is the odd thing about the Champions League format. You forget that you've played because you only play everybody once. Yeah, we beat both Madrid
We're
teams as
7th
well.
favourites.
What? Who's up? Who's up? Wait,
7th?
stop everything. Who's
Go on,
above us?
Go through.
Wait, let me guess.
Okay,
guess. Arsenal?
Go on.
Real
72
Madrid?
favourites, yeah. They're 6th at 17-2.
Fucking hell. Bayern Munich?
Second favourites at 9-2.
Man City?
Third favourites at 13-2.
Really?
Yeah.
PSG,
PSG, yeah.
Fourth favourites at 7-1.
Barca.
Barca.
Fifth favourites at 15-2. And then
So
it's
that's
us at
Yeah.
9-1. Not a bad bet, that, 9-1.
No, it's not. It's
We've got
not,
more,
to be honest.
We've got more chance than City. I'd say that.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? You listed all those teams, and I'm like, oh yeah, fair play. Yeah, all right, yeah.
What?
maybe not.
Incredulous.
What? Oh yeah, no, all right, yeah. It was that was the Ralph Hasenhüttl clip in audio form. Then like, what? Yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, get it. Yeah, I maybe contest City because they are just so weird this season. It feels like it's Guardiola's last season because he's just run out of. He's just tired and out of ideas.
I think that was the watershed for them last night. I think that was like the game people will look back on and say, yeah, that was the end for them.
Yeah, it might well be.
You don't go to a place like that and get fucking battered in the way that they do. Like, that's a sign of something being completely broken, I think, somewhere along the lines.
Well,
But anyway,
I will know that on the back of like not winning the Premier League last season and finishing third last year and having a bad Premier League season last year by their own standards. So it's not like it's come out of nowhere. It's a body of work masked a little bit by like Haaland's form. Anyway,
Plus
we're
they
talking
got
about
dicked at the weekend.
by Manchester United, Michael Carrick's Manchester United. But just to round back to what was asked, which is, I agree mostly with what Dave said. I think there are positives in the Champions League context to take out of that game. It doesn't answer any questions about the Premier League for me. Those questions still hang heavy in the air.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I would say we've got as good a chance as any to win the Champions League. I'm pretty certain when Arsenal get to the last stage and they got to face someone good, they'll start shitting themselves because they've not got the pedigree in it.
They'll start shitting themselves, and they'll do what they did against us, which is be like way too defensive and either lose the
Yeah.
game or almost lose the game when they have enough talent to beat a team on its own merits.
Yeah, I would say that would be the pattern, the direction of travel. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a thing on, speaking of Twitter, I saw the thing on, it was before we came on air that we were talking about Twitter anyway, but I saw this thing that said Arsenal have now reached more last 16s than any other English team in the European Cup. And, I was kind of like, well, Arsenal
Fucking Buffalo
also,
Bills.
they've also won the fewest. No English team has won fewer Champions Leagues than Arsenal as well, so let them have that one. But Dave, surely, all our eggs are in that Champions League basket now. We should have enough to get top 5 to qualify for it, you'd think. But considering we're looking at this tournament as being like, okay, well, if we're gonna get like one of the big two, it's certainly going to be this one. So surely it's a positive that we look more accomplished and we look like we can take on all comers in this tournament this year.
Yeah, it's a positive because you don't want us looking the way we look in the Premier League. So at least we've got some games that we can look forward to and think, yeah, this might be all right. So saying that, me and Jules did the Burnley part, and I thought that was all right. I thought like it was different. The Burnley game, I didn't feel like I was watching the same old shit. I thought there was a difference in how we approached the game. It was more like there was more purpose, more attack minded. We're getting the full-backs forward, which is what you've got to do against teams like that. We always joke about the way to beat them, get round the back. Well, that's how you do it. So those things are kind of coming together a bit. The thing that worries me more than anything about us really is just how thin the squad looks and how it's so precarious. If we lose a couple of players to injury, I think that kind of scuppers everything because we just haven't got the depth. In terms of like, if we can keep the core 11, 12, 13 players available all the time, then as we've been saying, that there's no reason why we can't have a good go at this, like the Champions League. And I've said all season, I'm not worried about Champions League qualification for next year. It's really hard for us to not be in like the top 4 or 5 because we've just drawn 4 games on the bounce. And we're still 4th. Nobody's caught us, even though we've dropped that many points. And it's not like we were that good before then, where we'd built up like a massive lead. We'd been shit before that. And then we just kind of gradually scraped and clawed our way up. But it was all so bunched and tight. It's not like we'd gone on this big run and built up a cushion in 4th place. And then the 4 draws, you can get away with that because of the big cushion. I don't know how we're still 4th. I genuinely don't. But it just must mean everybody else is just shite.
Yeah.
Who's going to overhaul us? I just don't see anybody behind us who is going to catch us. And that's not a vote for us. It's a vote against everyone else.
Everybody's far too inconsistent, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, Newcastle are way too inconsistent. Manchester United are. Chelsea are in a flux almost constantly. Like Villa are starting to level out a little bit now as well. So, I do think it's kind of odds on.
That the Abramovich left Chelsea and it's still as volatile as ever. Like you thought he would have settled down at Chelsea. Now the Russian oligarch who just does what he wants when he wants is gone. But no, it's still as volatile as ever. It's mental over there.
Instead they have the American oligarchs.
Ugh.
I'm just looking at the Champions League table and do you know who's 5th?
Spurs. Yeah. I was going to say that. I know that. Yeah.
They're above PSG. Crazy.
PSG won't be worried about that, though, will they? With
Newcastle and Chelsea are both in the top 8 as well.
I think that says a lot about the imbalance the Premier League now has over the rest of Europe, sadly. I hate it. I hate that.
Barcelona's 9th. What happened to them? Last I saw, they were 2nd. Unless I've imagined
they won
that.
tonight. Yeah.
I mean, it is quite tight. Like, they're on 13 points. We're on 15. But we have got, on paper, the easiest fixture of the 8 games that we've had. That's coming up next. So, yeah, I'd be surprised now if we didn't finish in that top 8.
They are quite handy, that lot as well, though, aren't they? Karabag. They won tonight. They came from behind in stoppage time to beat PSV.
So
Not
they've won 3
PSV, was
games.
it? Frankfurt, it was. Yeah, so that's not going to be a walk in the park, but you would expect us to secure that top 8 spot.
Especially if it's windy, because like chasing carrier bags around in the wind's fucking nightmare.
All right, settle down.
All right, Dan.
I'm very,
you lot with
very
that
sorry.
fucking crisps on the weekend. Jesus Christ.
No, you have to be there.
Hey,
Yeah, I think you did have to be there.
did you see the thread on the forum? They were AIs. There was plaudits for not sits. Not sits are a draw, man.
I'm not abiding by anything AI. So let's get back to our game then. I thought we started really, really brightly, Jules, and had that early goal ruled out. It was a nice move, Salah to Szoboszlai. He just went a little bit early, but it was clear offside. But it was a good finish. We were well on top through sort of quieting the crowd a little bit. Thought their crowd was actually pretty good. That Beatles tifo was pretty sweet, wasn't it? Just to give that a little mention. That was cool. And then we don't get the penalty, but we do get a free kick from the edge of the box, and Szoboszlai rolls it in under the wall. And I don't know about you guys, but I just thought that was massively disrespectful from Szoboszlai.
Well, it's their own fault for the one time.
He thinks he's too good for them, doesn't he?
All these
Billy Big
dickheads,
Bollocks.
all these dickheads who have someone lie on the ground, and you always think, why are they lying on the ground?
Well,
no one's doing that, and then they lie on the ground, and then no one lies on the ground, and then they jump.
That's just stupidity, isn't it? It's like, fair enough if you're not putting anyone behind the wall, but don't jump.
I used to love doing that on Pro Evo. You could press a button and the wall would jump or not jump, and you could put it under the wall. It used to be great, though. Good times.
I think the last time I saw us do one of them was
Coutinho.
Risa in the Cup semi-final at Old Trafford, right, against Chelsea.
I don't remember that.
In the game that...
doing one.
Yeah, Anfield, wasn't it?
I'm sure
Coutinho's was away from home. It was an away game.
Yeah.
That was at the Annie Road end.
Was it? I don't know. I'd seen it not that long ago. I've seen it like a week or so back.
Yeah. I thought it was Risa in the Cup semi-final against Chelsea, the one where Brownie almost got in the fight with the Chelsea fans for asking him whether Luis Garcia's goal hit the back of the net.
I thought he just bent that round the wall. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Well, Coutinho's was definitely after that.
Yeah. And Coutinho's definitely went along the floor. I don't know about Risa's. Maybe it did. I don't know.
Okay.
No point asking Brownie because he's not going to remember much about that day. Fucking state, is it?
Nice. Yeah. I thought that was... well worked. I think we'd obviously spotted something that they don't do that. Like they don't put a man behind the wall and they do all jump. So it was simple, really. But it's not many free kicks you just see.
West Ham, yeah.
West Ham.
You've still got to disguise it though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I think Dom's just executed that perfectly. My main thing with the free kick was when we get the free kick and the commentator's like, so who should be taking this? And McCoist is going, Salah. I'm like, fuck off, no. Do not be letting Mo anywhere near free kicks. It's like, why would you let him take it if you've got Szoboszlai there? I don't care what side of the goal it's on. No, do not let Mo hit the shot. And Mo's hanging around looking like he's interested, and I'm like, do not be letting him take this free kick. And then thankfully, it wasn't. It was Dom just rolls it underneath. And
Ali McCoist's commentary is like a dog chasing after cars.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's here, there, and everywhere, just like talking over the main commentator. And then like always, so there's this like, I thought that, Flash, I thought that, yeah, all the time, like, so, and
let me tell you.
Let me tell you, Fletch. He'll be talking and he'll just start like just butt into the sentence just as it's ending. Like, but you could have just waited 2 seconds and the sentence would have ended there.
Did you get onto when he said, he goes, I'm not going to do the accent, I'm just going to repeat what he said when he went, would I be right in saying, Fletch, that like Marseille haven't lost a home game in like, haven't had a goalless draw at home in 31 games, and Liverpool haven't had a goalless draw away in such and such. And I'm like, you've not just plucked that off like out the back of your head and you've gone, well, I'm thinking this. Would I be right in saying it? Someone's fucking handed you like the stat pack with all of that and you've read out from it. Would I be right in saying? He is all over the place. That's a good way of putting it. Just like a dog running around the park.
Yeah. Just doesn't know when to stop.
No, but
good
lovely
finish
goal
though.
from Dom, yeah. Well taken.
I thought that was kind of a nice moment because I think some of the stuff that surrounded the mistake against Barnsley was a bit fucking ridiculous, to be honest.
I wasn't even going to correct that.
No, I wasn't. I was going to let him lie.
I was just thinking,
let that sail. I thought sail that through and see who catches it again.
I didn't notice to begin with.
Some of the stick he took for that, I thought was fucking hysterical and ridiculous. Like, we've been talking all season about how everything's like too safe and no players are showing any like character on the ball, or they're not trying anything like. No, but it was just fucking. It was fucking way over the top. All of this like stuff about like, oh, it's disrespectful and he's being a Billy Big Bollocks who thinks he's too good for them. Like, fuck off. Like, it was just like it could have happened whether he was trying to back heel or not. It could have happened. You see that loads of times where a player just like miskicks it when or leaves it short when he's trying to pass it back to the keeper. I don't think it was anything to do with the fact that he was trying to back heel it. And
have you seen what he said? He spoke about it yesterday.
Go on then.
So he said it wasn't disrespectful, and I would have done the exact same thing against Arsenal, Man City, or Chelsea. First of all, I'm like, no, you wouldn't. But then he said he wasn't trying to back heel it. He was trying to dummy a back heel to make the player think he was back heeling it, and then he was going to run away with the ball, and he just messed it up. Which
that's what it looked like 4D chest there.
Like, that may or may not be true. The bit about I would have done it against Arsenal or Chelsea, no, you wouldn't.
Anyway, it was over the top, and I was glad to see him like execute something like nice and clever like that, which we sort of put that to bed a bit, I think. So good for him. I thought he was excellent as well again tonight.
Yeah, he was. Do you know something I didn't get onto at the time from Saturday's game? Where, obviously I know he hit the penalty really hard and he's hit the bar now. It rebounded off the bar and it went over 30 yards before it landed. It's just like, I don't even think I can kick the ball 30 yards. Never mind rebound it off something and have it go 30 yards. So the force he must have put behind that penalty.
Yeah. He's one of those who could possibly end up as like a NFL kicker when he hangs up his footy boots. Like Harry Kane wants to do that, doesn't he? He's got designs on going to the NFL and being a kicker. How mad would that be if that happened? It'd be pretty sweet. Might actually root for him if that was the case.
Well, it depends who he signs for. You won't be rooting for him if he ends up with the Patriots.
No, fair play. I think he is a Patriots fan as well, isn't he? Because he's like he's a mad Tom Brady mark. So anyway, we'll get shouted at for talking about the NFL, and you probably don't want to talk about the NFL anyway.
About it after the weekend.
Yeah, you probably don't either, do you, Jules? After the unhappy Broncos incident.
It's unfortunate. I'd like to see what the team could do with Bo Nix, who I don't fully believe in anyway, as the quarterback. But they're in a no-lose situation really. They're at home. The Patriots didn't look that great in their game. So I've got to be honest, if you could, over the years, if you could pick a head coach who'd be able to get a backup quarterback up to some sort of level to play a game, like Sean Payton would be up there. He was like fucking getting Taysom Hill to fucking play for the Saints and stuff. And
plus, you got a guy coming in whose name's Jarrett, so that fills me with confidence. I'm going to move on because we just lost half the audience, but...
Everyone calls him Stiddy, though. That's the best part. They call him Stiddy. Stiddy. Yeah, move on.
What Dave? We didn't really talk about it much to begin with, but what did you make of Mo coming straight back into the team tonight? Is that something that you think probably puts to bed any sort of lingering speculation about ill feeling and makes you think that everything's brushed under the carpet, or do you think that was just kind of a necessity to bring him in and start him this evening?
I don't think it changes anything whatsoever. I'll believe that something's changed when he's left on the bench for a couple of games and he doesn't kick off. If that happens, then I'll say, okay, so some sort of agreement's been mutual ground has been found, and they're just going to ride it out till the end of the season and see what happens then. But putting him in the team tonight, I think there's two reasons why he comes straight back into the team. One is the fact that Isak's not available, and two, the fact that Cody's been stinking it up, although he was good when he came on tonight. that makes it much easier to bring Mo back in. What was interesting, and I thought Mo was pretty poor tonight, but what was interesting about it was we got to see something that we've wanted to see, which is he's playing further inside, because there's no point having Frimpong playing right back and having Mo do what Mo's been asked to do last season and this season, which is hug the touchline, start from out wide, because all you're doing is just getting in Frimpong's way. It's not helping Mo, and it's certainly not helping Frimpong. So by him being further inside tonight, and he was basically kind of in a front two, that was how it looked. And you're just saying to Frimpong, okay, that whole right-hand side is yours. This is your responsibility. You're going to defend, like when you've got to defend, but when we've got the ball, the right-hand side is yours, which is what he did at Leverkusen. That was his job at Leverkusen, and I know it was slightly different because he's playing as a wing-back, but effectively he's still playing as a wing-back now because the full-backs are now being asked to push right up and attack. And Frimpong was great tonight. I put him in that position where he's just running at people. It's not always going to come off, but even like the goal that he didn't score, but the goal that like he created, it looked like he'd messed that up when he went past the player. You thought, your touch there is not quite right and you're going to get seen off. But he's so fast, he managed to just wriggle his way around him anyway and get on the ball. Yeah. And that's what he's got. That's in his locker. That's what he does. But for him he can't do that if Mo's playing wide in front of him. It doesn't work because you bring in too many defenders over there. But by Mo being inside, it's like Frimpong's getting space to just go 1v1 and just run at people. So I thought that worked well, even though Mo himself wasn't at his best. But there'll be other games where Mo plays well, Mo puts the chances away or whatever. So I do think that's something that maybe going forward we'll see more of. And it also opens up the door, not anytime soon because he's out for a while, but if we play the way we played tonight, there's no reason why you couldn't have Isak and Ekitike up there.
Yeah. Jules, I thought Frimpong was probably top 2 or 3 candidate for our like best player tonight. Like, what did you enjoy seeing from him?
Yeah, he's busy, he's quick, and if him being out there means that Mo is closer towards goal, that's got to be a better win long term. Like the sort of tenacity, and again, get round the back, get to the byline, pull it back, things happen. That's how the second goal was created today. Get into the byline and putting the ball in across the goal leads to an own goal, leads to goals. Slot wants to go on about the low block all the time. That is literally the way to go. You've got to go around them. They'll often give up the wide areas to defend the box, so you can get to that byline. And like, I think we've seen from Frimpong is finally starting to put together a consistent, appearances. He's not been injured, to touch wood. He's actually playing, and we're starting to see him start to gel now with the team. And now Salah's going to be back in. Salah's not going out to that team anytime soon, for a couple of reasons. So it's a real chance now to get Mo closer to goal and to have Frimpong really attacking on that right hand side and trying to get that width that we need. I like him. He looks like he should be a sidekick in an action film.
He just looks happy to be there, doesn't he?
Yeah. So if they had players introduce themselves like on the NFL and NBC's coverage, you could say, Jeremy Frimpong, happy to be here.
That would be good, actually. I think they need to do something like that. Because I just want to see Milos Kerkez. Because he's not even saying that.
Milos Kerkez. 2 + 2 = 5. No.
That's not very nice.
4. Tell that to his face.
Yeah, exactly. He was good again tonight, I thought.
Yeah.
Almost don't like saying it because of the continued marginalisation of Robbo, but Kerkez is deserving of his place in the team at the moment.
I've liked him from day one. I do think he had struggles early on, but I felt like he was always going to be a good player for us, and I still think we're just scratching the surface. I think there's like a lot more to come from him, but yeah, I like his moxie.
Well, like the 8 times table or something.
That is tricky, though, to be fair.
Okay.
8-8, Dave.
64?
Yeah. All right. 12-8.
Yeah, 70.
What?
No.
Okay.
Don't fucking start firing maths questions at me when I've had no preparation.
96.
96, yeah, but like, I'm not prepared for it. That's why I said, look, I said it's not easy. If I had said, it's a piece of piss, and then you start firing questions at me, then that's deserved. But I actually said it's not easy, and then you just go and prove it.
That's just proving your point for you, that's all. Right.
By making me look at it.
That's the best way to do it.
Capable of doing that
it's
himself.
My favorite. It's my favourite way to help you prove your points. Speaking of looking like a tit, though, Hugo's hair, fuck me. That is bad.
Yeah, he had that at the start of the season, then he grew
Not
it
that
out.
colour, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't it?
The sun coloured, like sort of sandy beach coloured, wasn't it? It's
But
not good at all.
He got rid of it, and I thought, he's
horrible,
being serious now. And then he came out tonight with that. I'm like, no, that's serious. Not that
James
serious.
said it best. It's earwax colour.
It is, it's vile.
Which has like that sort of it has a gross connotation as well as being accurate. So yeah, but I know you kick off about the white blonde hair, Dave. But I'd probably prefer that to the white blonde. I know the white blonde is more of an instant cunt identifier, but it doesn't look as bad as Hugo's did there with that like Barbie blonde.
No, it doesn't look as bad, but I'd be a hypocrite if I said like I'd be okay with that, because I do think, generally speaking, every player that dyes their hair white like that, almost exclusively, they are fucking twats. Especially, there's exceptions that prove the rule, but it's especially bad when it's Brazilians. They're the ones, like a Brazilian with bleached blonde hair like that, almost certainly he's a dickhead.
And traditionally speaking, Brazilian means no hair at all, so it's it's
Paul Brazilian. Paulinho. It's funny the way Paul's just our go-to bald guy. It's not like no one else is bald, but it's just Paul, isn't it?
He's been baldest for longest.
Yeah.
I've got two good friends, two bald Liverpool Pauls in my life. So for me, everybody called Paul is bald. I think it's just a bald name, and it rhymes as well. It sounds the same. So
Bald Paul.
I think bald Paul. Right, got to find us some non-bald Pauls. Do you know any? Paul Daniels, he was bald.
Paul Walsh.
He had lovely hair.
Yeah.
That might be your exception that proves the rule.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm struggling now.
All right, famous bald Pauls.
I'm trying to think of anyone called Paul. Famous.
The fact
Big
that
Show,
you go with Paul Daniels,
right?
it says like we are struggling.
Yeah. All right. So we got
Paul
Aaron
McCartney.
Paul.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, yeah. There you go. All right. Big Show Paul White, he's bald.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do. That's enough of the Pauls. Ekitike though, Jules. They said on my commentary tonight, it's like 70 minutes in, they said he'd had the fewest touches of any player on the pitch, alongside Salah. But I thought that the touches that he did have were all pretty great, to be honest. Like super assured. He looked dangerous. He carried a threat throughout. Like he had some lovely little skillful moments as well. Considering he wasn't on the ball that much, he made great use of it when he had it, and was really, really unlucky not to have a goal tonight. What with the offside, the save, and the hit and the strike against, I think it was the stanchion, wasn't it? Or
yeah.
Post, was it post? Yeah.
It was a good effort. Yeah. That lovely move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really unlucky, because we put together some quite good stuff like that, which would have been, really celebration worthy goals had they gone in or been allowed. But another good night for him, I thought, Jules.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a number 9 friendly team, is it? So he's not getting a lot of touches of the ball. he's definitely, we've said this before, he's definitely got a touch of the Maverick about him. And that offside goal, it was him who was offside, not,
Yeah.
yeah, because he was like very
I
offside.
didn't even celebrate it. You could tell
No,
straight
he
away.
was. I mean, like that was like he was very offside. No one. I can't. Like when I saw it, I thought that like classic goal, get it out wide, slide it in, tap, score from that area. But then like immediately seeing the replay, I was like, oh no, he's massively offside. So of course it was easy to score. You're like half a yard ahead of the defender.
He still tucked it away nicely, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You have an advantage that renders it obsolete. It doesn't matter.
Right,
But the
fucking
one,
hell.
yeah, it's true though.
Yeah, but you've still got to put the ball in the net. It was a good finish. Okay, he's offside, but it was still a good finish.
That's your
It was
job. You have to put
assured.
the ball in the net. Um, the one the one against the post though, that was a lovely hit. That's a shame that didn't go in. That's one where you can go, look, there's not much you can do. You're taking from the distance with the power, you're taking that shot. If it goes in, it's a stunning goal. If it goes wrong, it goes massively wide. And you look at it hits the post. That he's got a touch of the Maverick about him, but it's just trying to get him into any striker in that position into the game more, and it just doesn't really happen in this team, unfortunately. And
Tonight
it's quite
felt like
The,
more touches than he would usually get, though.
again, I think that's a Champions League thing more
Yeah.
than a team thing. So like, come back to me after we've played Bournemouth, and one of the pretenders to the throne when we played them, and see if he does the same thing. But I like him. I think he's got it. Like you can tell with players
Yeah.
at Liverpool whether they've got it or not. I think we said that after the first one or two games, right? He's got it. It's just whether we can get him the ball. And again, is the team set up to that strength, which is mental when we spend 200 million quid on two strikers? I'm not sure that we get them the ball or we give them the chances, the opportunities as much as we could have.
But that's why you spend 110 million on a number 10.
Well,
That's starting to pay off.
I was going to
Yeah, it's
say that
helping.
it helps if you get the two flying wing backs flying forward, which is starting to happen. Um, and I mean, Wirtz tonight, he was playing mostly everywhere, wasn't he? For me,
Yeah. Yeah.
he
I
didn't
don't
really
there
think
was
stick
a
in one
moment
spot.
with
you can't pin him down to a specific position, say, oh, he's playing on the left, or at the weekend he lined up on paper, he would have been on the right, but he didn't play there. He is literally just, when we've got the ball, he's everywhere.
Yeah,
He's wherever
even
the
without
ball
the
is.
ball, there was a moment in the second half when they were attacking, and he was right back there and nipping the ball off their attackers' toes on the edge of the box, which I was like, that's quite a handy little trait to have as well if you've got that kind of free roll and license to go anywhere. So yeah, I liked what I saw again from him tonight. I thought, especially during the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the game, that he was knitting the play together really well, and he helped us establish a little bit of more of a one-touch type tempo. We saw that in a couple of little moves that we don't often see from Liverpool. So again, it's just more evidence that everything that we do, everything that we should be doing well, we should be sort of trying to push it through him.
Yeah.
'Cause,
yeah,
Definitely.
it's starting to come
where it's
together
at.
for Wirtz. You can feel it, can't you?
yeah.
Starting to come together.
It's,
I
just,
think
it's
rest
the
of
case
team to follow
for
suit.
all four of those signings that are on the field now, isn't it? Really, you can look at all four of them and say, this is the reason why we signed you. When for the early part of the season, we were all sort of scratching our heads and thinking, well, why this guy if you're going to play like this? Like,
Yeah.
there are certain things emerging now that help you see what their reasoning was behind bringing them in the first place.
Well, I never had any issue with bringing those players in or any question marks about whether those players were any good. I had issues with the Isak signer, but it wasn't specifically about his quality. But the other four, I was happy enough with them. Was never saying, oh, they're not good players. What I didn't get was why you signing players and then, like, Kirkes was the obvious one. You sign like someone who just wants to run up and down the left hand side. He's tenacious. He wants to get involved in everything, and you're basically just handcuffing him to Van Dijk, not letting him really do much. So I didn't understand that. Frimpong, more difficult to pass comment on that because he didn't play much because of the injuries. But Conor Bradley, can do that. Conor Bradley's an attacking fullback as well. He wasn't really playing like that. The fullbacks were not given that license, and it made no sense. And now we're starting to see it. Like, the last few weeks, the fullbacks are being asked to be the ones providing the width, and it's working. They both look really good. They look more comfortable in what they're doing.
I guess my point that I was trying to make there was that would have probably been the intention all along, but for whatever reason they didn't deploy them in that way, and we didn't see it, so it did leave us questioning, well, if you're not going to do it, then what's the point?
Yeah. Well, that's what I said about Kerkez, was if you want to play with an Arsenal type fullback, like a tucked in centre back, then sign someone like that. Don't sign someone who wants to bomb up and down the touchline, because that's what we were asking him to do early on. And it's only in recent weeks he's been given the freedom to do what he was doing for Bournemouth. I had no idea. I don't think we'll ever find out what was going on earlier in the season, with certain players, and what was the plan for Wirtz? Why were you doing that with the fullbacks? I just don't know.
Yep. Well, happily it's coming together now. It remains to be seen whether it'll be this manager that's enacting that moving forward beyond this season. That's obviously still very much up for debate at the moment. How far we progress in this competition might end up being a deciding factor in whether he gets the chance to continue doing it next season as well. Do you think that they've made a decision on that front, Dave, or is it something that they're going to wait and see that plays out between now and the end of the season and look for sort of the continued green shoots of improvement?
I've got no idea. I genuinely have got no idea what they're thinking. And I think what Jules said on the last pod as well, that will be a factor. It's I don't know how they could have made up their mind while we still got a chance of winning the Champions League, because if we did win it, would they still then, if they made up their mind to move them on, would they stick to that? Or would they feel that they were under too much pressure and then they'd have to keep them? I honestly just do not know what they're thinking about it.
Well, let's ask Chris that. Chris, can you sack a Champions League winning manager at Liverpool?
Didn't not at Liverpool, I don't think you can, but Chelsea did it with Di Matteo, didn't they?
No,
he
Chelsea
won it,
do it. Yeah, I said, but I did say
they didn't do
pointedly.
it straight after though. It was, I think, the next season wasn't going well, and then they did it. But in terms of starting the next season,
I don't think you can really.
No.
I mean,
I am talking because I said Chelsea.
Look.
Chelsea do it, but specifically Liverpool. It can't happen, right?
No, I don't think so. Considering the 6 times we've won it, of pretty much the crowning glory of the what we base our entire sort of ethos on, that sort of European royalty thing. And if you add a 7th, then I think you just have to go with it. And he's proven that if that's the case, he's proven that he can be a winner under duress in different circumstances. He's proven he could do it with his own team, with the signings that him and his backroom staff have not backroom staff, but the front office staff have made. So if we win it, I would have to assume that he'd be here next year, and deservedly so, I'd say.
I think the point that when me and Jules were talking about this, I think it's a no-brainer if he finishes 4th or something and wins it, then that's not even a question. But if we were to really fall off in the league and finish 7th, would that change it? And it might in their minds. It wouldn't. A lot of fans would be like, you can't do it. You absolutely can't. He's won the Champions League. He won the league the year before. He's won the Champions League. What more can you ask? He would be safe in the eyes of the majority of fans. The only thing that muddies the water for me, and this is just pure speculation anyway, because we don't know, but if before they hired Slot, there's been some reports about this, but I'm not sure to buy them. I don't know. If they initially, the preference was to get Alonso, and that wasn't on the table, Alonso made it clear. So then it's okay, we move down the list. The next target is whoever. Maybe it was Slot, maybe it was someone else, whatever. So then, but initially that was who they wanted. And then he is on the market, and you're worried about what if he goes to Man City? That's who we wanted. Does that then influence the thinking? Or is it still a case of, look, even though we want to make this change, we can't. There's too much pressure. I don't know whether even if they wanted to make the change, I don't know whether they would do that. It's such a big call.
Yeah, I don't think they can. And to be honest, I think it's still probably unlikely that they have to make that call. To be honest, like the
I mean,
the idea
it
that
would
we go and
stink,
win
wouldn't it? Really, it's like
Yeah,
it would be like a proper shitty thing to do. But the way football's going, you just don't know anymore. So much of it's like data driven and all of that. It's not as straightforward as how he's won a trophy, he stays. That's not really how people.
It's not a trophy though, is it?
No, I know that, but you know what I'm saying. It's like it's not that straightforward in the minds of football clubs anymore. This is not what we've been accustomed to our whole lives. I do think it's a different landscape now. Maybe not that different, not yet, but I don't know.
Hypothetically, should they do that, it would be a massive stain to do that, and we could probably forget the idea that Liverpool are different to everyone else. Like you could drop that premise right there.
No, that would be Chelsea behaviour.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't really spoken much about Marseille, but I think this is a nice way to bring up like De Zerbi and what a fucking overrated nerd wankfest that guy is.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell. Like just to think he was being linked with fucking replacing Klopp at one point for us. Like, please.
He's like seen as like a god in coaching circles, though.
Like why is he coaching at Marseille then?
I'm not saying. Well, there's more to the job than just coaching, isn't there? There's like you've got to age men as well.
He needs to age his haircut. He's got the haircut of a 20-year-old driving around on a moped in Naples. He needs to get an age appropriate haircut now.
Like, I'm not saying this bigging him up. I'm just saying what coaches say about him. He is seen as this big, like, innovative coaching guru who does things that other coaches are like, oh yeah, we need to copy that. He's so
why didn't
well
he do it tonight?
Well, he probably did, but then the argument would be they just come up against better players. So
then why is he at Marseille?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because there's more to it than just being good on a coaching pitch. Maybe like as a manager, he's a fucking head case. I don't know.
I think that's probably true. He looked like he was falling out with everybody at Brighton by the end. He looked like genuinely pissed off to be there.
Yeah.
What was their actual plan against us tonight, though? If he's this big tactical fucking whiz kid, like, what was his? Like, he's watched every team we've played in the Premier League this year, like, nullify us
it's not
quite
do
easily.
That, though. The way that teams have
make him a good
nullified
coach
us.
in my book.
No, I'm not saying he's an adaptable coach. What I'm saying is, like, coaches look at like the way he builds from the back and all of that stuff. That's what they're looking at. Whereas there's ways to play against us that probably he would look at and go, "There's not a chance in hell I'm gonna resort to playing that way. That's not who I am." So he's tried to just take us on by playing their game, and they've come unstuck. But I'd much rather face teams who want to do that than teams who just want to shithouse it up and waste time and play for set pieces and all of that stuff.
Well, their game looked a bit shit to me, to be honest.
I thought they played some decent stuff playing through, wasn't that? But once they got around the box, I didn't think they had any real cutting edge at all. They got into decent situations, but never really put us under any serious danger, because I didn't think they had a final ball, cross, whatever. It was lacking.
Yeah. Speaking of the defensive side of things, Jules, shout out to Joe Gomez, who came in and played very well tonight. Yeah,
but like, aside from the fact that it seems that Slot doesn't rate him, that's a Slot thing, because Joe Gomez was playing in our centre-back position when we won the league. Joe Gomez is a good player. Joe Gomez just needs to feel like your manager has faith in him and to play consistently. Forget about the injuries and stuff. That's a different argument, because that's something sometimes that's out of his control. But when he's on the pitch, if he plays consistently and he has the backing of his manager and he feels like he's got the backing of his manager, he's a quality player. He always has been a quality player. This is no surprise. If Slot pulled his finger out of his ass and played him more often rather than just playing Konate religiously, this wouldn't be an issue. It's maddening that this is even like that. It takes like this for him to start games. He should be starting. How many? take the injuries out. He could have started at least 3 or 4 games in the last month or so, and it'd not have been a problem.
And prior to that, before the injury as well, he has been available and been ignored.
And it's infuriating. I don't get, and I know that I'm getting slightly away from it. I do not get the policy on man management and squad management from Slot. It is the most damning thing. Forget about the results and the style of play. That is the most damning thing about him. It does make no sense to manage and use the squad in the way that he has with players like Joe Gomez being.
And he's not aging those men, is he? Really?
Well, Joe Gomez needs a fucking Parker. He's out in the cold so fucking often. It's ridiculous. And then he comes in and gives a performance like that. And why couldn't he just start him against Bournemouth on the weekend? Let Konate out. Let Konate recover if he's out with a knock. There's no need to play him again.
I think there's been a death in the family or something. Just reading between.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. So okay. So it's not a knock, is it? It was like a family problem.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, again, let him have that little bit more time off then. If he needs it, just let him take the time. If he possibly was already over in France with the team, so let him stay there. Come back next week, mate. Just take the time you need. Because Joe Gomez is not perfectly adequate. He's above that. He's a quality Premier League level player. He always has been. And if the manager didn't treat him like an arsehole, we'd have had more out of him.
Yeah. Do you know what he wasn't playing all the time under Klopp either, but the difference is, I guarantee if you speak to Joe Gomez privately, even when he wasn't a regular under Klopp, he felt important, a part of things, and valued. I bet you he doesn't feel like that now. But he does not feel valued in any way, shape or form. He knows he's playing not as a last resort, but close enough. He's not really. He knows he'll play League Cup, FA Cup games when he wants to just rest other people, but he's not really valued, and he's not the only one either. You could probably say the same thing Endo as well. Endo probably feels exactly the same way. And it's not that you have to pick these players all of the time, but you've got to pick them some of the time and at least make them feel like they're important and a part of things. And as you say, Jules, that's where it's baffling the way Slot's treated certain players like that. And I thought, based on things he said at the end of last season, it was going to be a bit different this year, and he was going to use the squad more, and it's not happened. Mainly because they sold half the squad in the summer, which I don't necessarily think is Slot's decision. But if he was picking those players and they were important to him, then maybe they wouldn't have sold them.
Joe Gomez strikes me as a fairly sensitive soul. I don't know, he doesn't, he's never seemed gregarious. Seems like a fairly quiet lad, he's never seen, out there or, bigging himself up or whatever. I feel like, as much as a Premier League player does, I feel like he needs more of the arm round the shoulder to feel like a part of things, that I feel like he's got the back and the confidence of the man in charge. Helps you. Unless you're like a psychopath, like Mo Salah, who does although I think we can say a lot about that chance he missed and his recent form, but I also feel like despite his single-mindedness, and like I say, it's almost like he's like a psychopath in his single-mindedness. I don't really. He was in tears at the start of the season on the pitch. He's had a tough time this season. I don't think you can rule out that he's just he's having a tough time in his head, and that's why he's missing some of these chances they would normally put away, because it's just all in his head at the moment. This kind of stuff does matter. This is why they employ sports psychologists and everything. But I do feel, going back to Gomez, he just seems like a sensitive soul in football circles. Yeah.
I'd agree with that. He had a good chance as well, didn't he, Joe?
He did, yeah.
It was terrible. It looked like he deliberately headed it in that direction. It was absolutely baffling, the technique on that header. It looked like he was at the near post and he was flicking it backwards, except he's at the back post and he's just flicking it miles wide. But that was a good chance.
Yeah. I got a couple of text messages from JB before. He loves Joe Gomez. He says, loves Joe. Best Joe since Grandpa
Grandpa Joe was a big old bum though, lying around, couldn't do nothing. The goalie kicking, he's up and out of bed straight away. Fucking grifter.
Malingering bastard.
He was, yeah, probably. The mum's out working all the hours God sends to keep them four in the bed, and then as soon as he's like, I'll go to the chocolate factory, I'll eat some free chocolate and steal some beer. Dickhead.
He is the worst. Oh, gosh.
On that subject, though, but the corner with Gomez's chance, I thought our corners were quite interesting tonight. It looked a bit different. There was a lot of, like... And it may have looked different because of how Marseille were defending it, which is maybe different to what other teams are doing. But just visually, when we were taking the corner, I'm looking at what's going on in the box and thinking, that doesn't look like our normal corner routine. Thought, a couple of times it looked like we might have got in there. Like movement in the box. Gomez got free on that one. The delivery wasn't always great, though. There's one that went right over the back of everybody, didn't it? Gomez and Van Dijk were both on the back post and still way over their heads.
It is mad how bad footballers can be at set pieces, considering how much they're paid and how often they kick a ball. They can't get it right. It is a proper.
Are we any closer to hiring a new set piece coach yet?
No, I don't think so. Maybe we could put something on LinkedIn for someone to take the corners. Maybe we'd have better luck with that.
Oh man, gosh. All right, what else have we not covered yet before we have a look at the weekend?
We didn't really say too much about Frimpong.
No, I mean that was it.
Yeah,
just made his own luck there, didn't he?
That's that low centre of gravity, like fast player who just kind of wriggled past, didn't he? The defender thought he had him, and then he's quick and he's small. I think if he's bigger, he wouldn't have got round him. But because of the height, he just sort of scooted around the side of him, and the defender's like, oh shit, I can't do nothing. Then he's past him, and he'd have fouled him if he'd have tried to do anything.
He's saying like he's like a bar of soap.
Yeah, he did look slippery there.
If he took the Adama Traore route and lathered himself up in body butter as well, you're fucked then, aren't you? You're not getting anywhere near him. He's like a slippery weasel.
I think Adama Traore, Mark used to grease him up before he went out, like grease up some beefcakes.
Adama's like, Mac, I'm drying out over here. Nice. It's nice to see Aubameyang's about as useful as he ever was against us tonight. Came on, did absolutely fuck all. I barely noticed him for the whole time he was there. It's like reminds me of that game at Anfield when he had like 3 touches and or like 5 touches and 3 of them were kickoffs or something.
He absolutely stinks of Arsenal, doesn't he?
Yeah, big time. Gosh.
Third goal.
Your boy.
Yeah. He was good when he came on. I thought he did well. Put one on a plate for Mo. Yeah, he looked lively. Again, he's playing a little bit further inside because of the way we played.
That's his best position for you, Dave, right? From the bench. I much
prefer to see him more central than stuck out wide, just doing that shit that he does when he's out wide. Like, he's cut in and scored tonight, but he's cutting in from inside the box. He's not cutting in from out wide and doing that. But yeah, I thought he was good. Took his goal well.
I think we just kind of like we cut out the cutting in part. Like, you know, if he's already in that position, he doesn't have to cut in with the ball at his feet and he can just shoot.
He's cutting in with one touch rather than 6. Where he's just doing that, like, dribbling across the box, one touch, another touch, another touch, another touch. And they're just waiting, going, okay, where's the shot coming? And then he goes to shoot, and there's just 2 players there ready to block it.
Yeah.
But I do think the players probably were just, tonight, they're like, what's going on here? We've actually got space to play in. What is this? This is a totally different sport. Because it must be so much more enjoyable playing in a game like that, like end-to-end, loads of space to play in. You know, you can pop it around, do your little flick around the corner and then turn and get on the end of it, and without there being like 5 players there. So I think it must be much more enjoyable for them to play in a game like that.
They did look like they were having more fun out there, to be fair.
Because even that goal, like the move for that there goal, like played into Dom and just a little touch around the corner, And then Curtis is flying forward. And like Curtis, I don't think at any point Curtis was wanting the ball. I think he's just making a run across because he's well offside. Like they couldn't have played the pass to him, but he made that run across, which took a defender away, and it just leaves Cody in space then. So it was just a really well worked move.
Plus you had like Salah in the middle as well, and he's occupying defenders too. So all in all, it worked out that Gakpo had a ton of space and could just pick a spot. Like he had acres of space to, and he's pretty. If he's got a clear sight of goal, he's usually pretty good in those situations, isn't he? So
no, he can finish definitely.
Yeah, good for him. I feel like we did a much better job in the second half, Jules, of creating shooting opportunities from promising situations, because about 4 or 5 times in that first half, they either gave it away cheaply or we robbed it off them, and we couldn't quite find the pass, or we didn't make the most of the opportunity. But in the second half, we were much better at that and really could have ran up the score a bit.
Yeah, they had a little spell, didn't they? Where they after the second half started, about 10 minutes, where they looked like they were having a go. Then after that, we sort of just took control again. Again, as Dave said, it's like it's having the space and stuff, isn't it? Suddenly, like you're able to create better chances. You're able to try different things. The risk of losing the ball as well against a team like that isn't as difficult, because winning it back off them wasn't that difficult in the second half either. The cat's biting me.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get off me, fucking dickhead. Sorry.
Which one?
Tinker.
Is he biting you because he wants something, or is he just he's having a little,
he was sleeping on my hand, and then all of a sudden he was like, fuck this pillow, I'm gonna bite the shit out of it. It's like, okay, man.
He's probably wanting to watch the Traitors. He's like, will you fucking hurry up so we can watch it? I know I am.
Have you? Right, I'm gonna keep talking now deliberately. So, what else can we bring up? What can we get Dave on his soapbox about? Anyway, well,
I was even nice to Cody just to get this over. I'm like, yeah, he played well, took his goal well. Like, can we move on?
I wonder what that was all about as well. Very keenly disguised, unlike a Cody Gakpo cut in and shoot.
I'm not biting.
All right, fair enough. So another good thing about stealing that win tonight is that pretty much as long as we don't fuck up monumentally next week, we've got that top 8 spot, which means second leg at home at Anfield. Didn't do us much good last year, but obviously you'd want that in this competition. Although maybe you wouldn't, given how much more effective we've been away from home in this competition sometimes this year and in the league too. So what do you make of that? Anything? Do you think it matters, or?
Depends who we get, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many teams that would scare me in the sense of thinking, oh, we need that second leg at home. But it's preferable to have the second leg at home, but I don't think it's a massive issue. But again, it comes down to whether you get lucky in the draw or not. We're guaranteed that no matter what now, we're guaranteed like the top. We're in the playoffs at least, aren't we? We're probably going to be in the top 8 bar. And
I think a draw next week would keep us in the top 8.
Yeah. So, then you're just relying on the draw, I suppose. I mean, we got really unlucky last year, obviously, but I'm just looking at it now, like teams who were in the playoff spots. I mean, I'd want to avoid Juventus for obvious reasons, not footballing reasons.
Atleti, you probably want to avoid.
I would want to avoid City.
Yeah, I'd want to avoid City. Atletico, it wouldn't be the end of the world if we had to play them.
No, avoid them.
You'd prefer to avoid them.
No, avoid them.
And other than that, like, you're looking at what? So Napoli's not in there at the moment, but they could get in.
They play Chelsea next, so Chelsea need something from that, so they might end up missing out.
Yeah, they're one place out at the moment.
Yeah,
on goals scored. So yeah, they're probably not going through. Galatasaray beat us once, but don't scare me at all. We were abysmal that night. Dortmund, they're shite. Spurs beat them, so it says it all. Inter, we've already beat them. I tell you who I wouldn't want to play, Atalanta. The style of play, they're just fucking awkward bastards, aren't they?
Have they still got that same manager?
I
I
think
thought
so,
the manager had left.
Yeah.
I thought he'd left,
has
didn't
he?
he?
Has he left?
Let me have a look.
I thought he was old, wasn't he?
He hadn't died.
No, but I wouldn't have thought he'd have gone somewhere else because he's old. I would have thought that would be like the best job that he could get.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right though, Dave. Like, I mean, obviously Barcelona are in 9th place at the moment, so if it stays as is, they're not going through automatically as well.
He's left.
Clearly, you'd want to avoid that.
Gasparini, is it?
That's it.
Yeah.
He's left. The head coach is Rafael Palladino.
Oh, okay.
Gotta be honest, his Wikipedia picture is handsome bastard. Fair fucking play.
It's Italian.
Yeah. Well, it was Gasparini.
Look at me remembering that, and I didn't even Google that.
No, I believe you. I believe that. Broken clock's right twice a day.
Dave's having one of those like Frank the Tank moments after he aces the debate and he almost passes out.
He's singularly focused on getting to the traitors, so like there's no margin for error.
Yeah, so
all right.
I hadn't noticed that Barcelona were 9th, but I'm assuming that they'll go through. But if not, you'd want to avoid that. Want to avoid City.
Yeah, they play Copenhagen next week as well, so you'd expect them to beat
Barcelona.
To beat Copenhagen. Yeah.
I suppose if I had to, I mean, I don't, don't want to play Barcelona, but I just want to avoid the English teams, to be honest. So I don't really care as long as it's not an English team.
For what specific reason? Because you'd be worried about getting knocked out, or because you just don't like playing English teams?
Worried about getting knocked out.
So you'd be worried about playing Chelsea or Newcastle?
Well, we've lost to Chelsea. Yeah. Newcastle, no, probably not. But we've lost to Chelsea. We've lost to City. Arsenal, despite drawing with them twice, I couldn't say
Arsenal, Jules.
Arsenal's
no, I know, because they're in the top 8, yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about now through the competition at this point, right? Because you can't play them right now. I'm not in love with playing Arsenal either, because they are top of the league. They are a good team. They're not a great team to watch, but they are a good team. Spurs, I'd play them. So it's play Spurs and Newcastle, but the others, no, I'm not really interested in going either. They'd probably beat us.
I don't think we can play English teams until the quarterfinals anyway, can we? Or is it?
No. But again, I am talking broadly about through the entire competition.
Okay.
I would like somebody else to do that dirty work for us, where possible.
All right, fair enough. I wouldn't mind getting Tottenham, that's for sure, because the fact that they're 5th at the moment is absolutely baffling.
Yeah. They're in crisis.
I suppose another good thing about having the right, exactly, about making sure we get that top 8 qualification is with the squad being kind of thin at the moment and us being a couple of injuries away from sort of being really in the shit. It gives everybody a couple of midweeks off, doesn't it, to rest up a bit and sort of hopefully kind of stay healthy and avoid any season derailing injuries.
Oh, that's really important.
When the transfer window opens, though, we can make some signings and bulk the squad.
Have we heard any rumblings on that front? Anything that makes you suggest that there might be? I saw some bullshit movement about us signing that midfielder from Wolves, the one from Fluminense that we were supposed to be interested in the first place, which is clearly bollocks because
he's not being
I've
good.
seen him a couple of times. He's been fucking shit, hasn't he? Every time I see him, he's like a walking booking. He's rubbish. It's like he's like tail end after is sticky toffee pudding at the Toby Carvery Fabinho.
We're definitely not going to sign a midfield player. Like, why would you do that? That's the least of our
concerns. I can't believe you quantify it by having the position. You could have just said.
I know we're not signing anyone, but I know, but like, if you, my point there really is more, if you're going to make up a bullshit rumour, at least make up one about a position where people might go, oh yeah, maybe. But yeah, we're not signing a midfield player.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Paddy Power.
Maybe we've done it to get City to buy him. Just put the word out.
They've probably still got a boner for us over getting Wirtz when they clearly wanted him, so they've gone after all our targets. Are we hearing anything about like what happened there with Gahey in particular? Like, were we still in for him? Do we know, and he just chose City because of A, us being shit, B, probably more money.
300 grand a week they're giving him, which we wouldn't go anywhere near that, and nor should we.
Do you think we made enough of a? Do you think we made a play for it though? Do you think we still tried to sign him, or we kind of just backed away from it? Because there's like speculation about Slot's future and whether they're going to sanction any signings ahead of making a decision over the manager.
Who knows? But it doesn't. Like same with Semenyo, it doesn't look like we actually made a serious play for them. It's like we just stood back and went, okay, yeah, fine, let's just let them go to City. Which, if that's the case, you do think, well, is that because they want to keep the powder dry until the summer for either for a new manager, or if Slot's proved himself that that he's going to stay, and they just don't want to commit to it now, or it could just be the players were like, no, we're just City's a more attractive option. I don't know. But if Gay's getting 300 grand a week, there's absolutely no way on earth we should be even considering giving him anywhere near that amount of money. So you can't. If they offer him that, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
their wage bill's still lower than ours.
Probably, yeah, because so much of it's off the books, isn't it? So
yeah, allegedly.
I wonder how much of that 300 grand is actually going through their books.
Yeah, could be on $500,000 a week. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all conjecture on our part. So, should we have a quick look ahead at the weekend then? Bournemouth away in the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. A lot's happened since we last played Bournemouth on the opening Friday night of the season. At Anfield, obviously that was an emotional occasion in its own right, but we kind of go into that game, we go 2-0 up, and then the theme begins of giving away 2-goal leads and allowing teams back in. We probably should have paid more attention to that straight out of the gate, really, because it was a trend it was one of the only trends from that game that would continue, really. We won it late on, and of course we had the emotional scenes at the Kop end afterwards, but their star has kind of faded a bit over the last month or so, hasn't it? We look to be getting to a little bit of stability, so I'm looking at this game and thinking it's one that we should be able to go there and win, Jules. So how are you seeing it?
Well, yeah, now that Semenyo's not there as well, because he was like a massive threat in the game at Anfield. Can we draw a fifth game? Like,
we can.
Really? Well, it can.
Wait for that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I feel like it. I just don't know how to feel about us in the Premier League. I've just sat through so much shite this season with like no sort of turnaround. In theory, I feel like we've got a good chance of winning. But we had one of our better games of the season against Burnley, and didn't win. I suppose all I can say is, I'd be a hypocrite. I said, look, if we start our performances start to look better, that would be something for me. So what I'm really looking forward to is to build on the, if I again say I'll take the Champions League out, different type of games, so I won't count Marseille tonight. If I'm looking at Premier League, I'm looking on building on the performance against Burnley. So yeah, the result matters, and a win is, I think, kind of a necessity after 4 draws. I'm also looking for the level of performance from Burnley. I'm looking for that not to drop. I'm looking for it to maintain, and I'm looking to have a little bit of build on that as well from Saturday. Yeah. I can't say I'm confident in anything. A win. I don't think we'll lose, but again, I've got no real confidence in them. I'm sad to say. I just don't know. So yeah, I just don't know. Sadly, if you ask me to give my prediction. 1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hope not. I mean, Dave, looking at it doesn't often pay to look at the league table for games involving us, especially given the narrative around not being able to beat the 3 promoted teams at home. But they're 15th now, and I think like around October, November time, they were sort of kicking right up in 4th place in the sort of Champions League.
Second.
Yeah, and now they're
second.
So, they're on a really awful run of form that's seen them drop about 12 places in the league, and they've just lost their best world-class player. So, you look at us tonight, and hopefully we go with an approximation of the same system and the same 11, ride with the hottish hand, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't go there and come away with 3 points.
No, I think we'll beat them. I think they'll give us a few problems because I watched them play against Arsenal the other week and they were unlucky to lose that. I thought they played really well. Because the thing with Bournemouth, they've just got this like he who dares wins style. They'll have a go, and they just haven't really got the quality players to pull that off. But in terms of how they play, I do think they'll have a go at us, and I don't think they'll have enough. I think we'll probably win it maybe 2-0. I think it might be a bit more comfortable than we've seen for the last few months, where every single game has just been, it's on a knife edge, isn't it? It's either like a draw or it's a close win or a close loss. I think we'll win 2-0 relatively comfortably, and I think Wirtz and Ekitike are just starting to click into gear, and I think we'll be okay at the weekend because it's got to be tough for Bournemouth. They've lost Semenyo. They've still got good attacking players, but he was the talisman. He was like the biggest threat. You take him out, they already lost basically their entire back four last summer. So it's really, that's why they're struggling. It's not that the manager's changed like the style of play or anything, but they're just doing it with players who are not as good as they had last year. So I think we're not in great form, but I do feel like we're not in that really vulnerable state that we were. A few of the draws we've had is because we've given away a stupid goal at the end of the game. It's not that we've been, really struggling in the game. It's just been like daft mistakes and giving goals away at bad times. But I think on Saturday, I think we'll be okay. If we're playing somebody better than Bournemouth, I wouldn't be having this level of confidence. But I do think, and especially because the style of play, they're not going to play the way Burnley did or the way Wolves did. They are going to have a go. And while I don't think it'll be a game like tonight's game by any means, I do think it'll be a bit more open than we're usually seeing in the Premier League, and I think that'll suit us, and we'll just have enough quality to get by them.
They seem to have like a lot of 3-2s and games like that. I think when I don't pay the closest attention, but you look at their score and sometimes it's like 3-2 or 4-2 or whatever. So
they're always good to watch because, like I say, they have a go. They never just go somewhere and just sit in. And if they do that, they're always like looking to counter-attack. So there's always something in Bournemouth games to, entertainment. I do think they're one of the more entertaining teams in the league because a lot of the league is just boring. It's like rigid football, set pieces and stuff. Bournemouth are a little bit different to that.
Yeah. They've scored more goals than us this season. They scored 35 and we scored 33. Wow. Yeah. But they've conceded 41, so they're -6, and we've only conceded 29, so we're +4. But they've scored more goals than sort of about 6 teams. Everyone bar about 6 teams in the league. So
that's what I mean. They have a go. I do think they'll cause us some difficult moments, but I think we should just have a bit too much quality.
Yeah, good stuff. And Jules, in terms of the team, I'd really like to see us either keep the 11 or maybe Curtis comes in for Maka. I thought Maka had one of his better games of the season for us tonight as well. But how do you see that happening?
Yeah, Curtis in for McAllister for me. McAllister's been erratic in the Premier League. Again, I think the setup of Marseille, the style of Marseille we're playing tonight helped him a lot. Maybe because Bournemouth do set up as Dave said, they're a more expansive team than you usually get in the Premier League. Then maybe, but I think Curtis has been really good recently, so I don't really want to see him just relegated to bench all the time. So I'd be quite happy for him to come on. But I want to see the front three stay the same. Really need to start getting Mo back involved and try and get him out of this ditch that he's stuck himself in. And it depends on Konate's circumstances. Again, if he's got a family issue, it's not a big problem. I think Joe Gomez is absolutely fine back there. Now,
of course, we wait and see till tomorrow to see whether Joe has picked up an injury or something.
Well, yeah. What I will say is, Robbo should be starting because I don't want hothead Kirkes playing away at his former team.
Yeah, the Jules rule. Don't play them away at the former clubs.
And he It all depend. A lot of it depends on the temperament of the player as well. I'd have serious doubts about Kirkes. So I would be playing Robbo. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
Kirkes
I'd go
and
along
Robbo.
with that.
Yeah.
Right. A rare consensus among the three of us, so very cool. All right, are you guys, anything else you guys want to raise before we let you go and watch the Traitors? It's midnight there, UK time now, so
Yeah.
good for you. Good for you, Dave. If you're staying up to watch the Traitors, you probably have to, so they don't get fucking spoiled for you by the morning, right?
I know. Paul will have no doubt been in the chat, doing as usual. Actually, in fairness, I don't think he has. Not much has popped up on my phone, so I'm trying to just not look. So, I'm not going to post this up tonight either. I'm going to watch Traitors before it gets spoiled, and then I'll post the pod in the morning.
What? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, I'll be up for another hour.
Executive decision.
Yeah, I'm not staying up for another hour. That takes me to 1 o'clock, and then I've got to watch Traitors. Then it's 2 o'clock. I've got shitloads on tomorrow. So, no.
Got to have a wank as well.
Oh! Lowering the tone.
Well, yeah, I suppose I was a bit. I just became Rick Mail there for a brief second. Gotta have a wank.
Paul and stuff.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. Get some knotsits in you too. Knotsits. Yes. Orange fingered wank, and then
Alright,
okay.
Have a dick like Donald Trump.
All right, if you stayed this far,
What a way
I think
to
you'd
end.
probably end up cutting
Donald Trump's dick.
Oh man! All right, well, thanks for listening. Apologies for the end. Catch you soon.